So basically, if you are a human who has ever lived in this world for at least a second of your life, then you have most likely have heard of Attack on Titan, as it is currently the most talked about and most watched anime that is going on at this very moment, with it being plastered everywhere online and trending on Twitter almost every single time a new episode comes out. But why is that? Why is Attack on Titan the most watched anime of all time? Well, let's talk about it. So, let me premise this by saying that this video is mainly for people who have watched and are caught up with Attack on Titan. So, if you are not, and you really want to catch up on Attack on Titan, I suggest you stop the video because I am going heavy and not like divulging every single thing, but I will be going into some major spoilers. Just want to get that out there. If you have not seen Attack on Titan, go watch it. It's amazing, it's beautiful, it's phenomenal, it's all that jazz. So go ahead and do that before we talk about Attack on Titan. So, when we get to the first episode of Attack on Titan aired over here in the West on May 3rd, 2014. And I was in high school. I was in the halls of my high school trying to enjoy my senior year. But so many people, and I kid you not, so many people were telling me to watch Attack on Titan because of how good it was. Have you watched Attack on Titan?
Attack on Titan? Totally watch Attack on Titan.
You haven't seen Attack on Titan?
Pretty awesome.
In the world.
What's wrong?
Jesus!
But I really wasn't into anime at the time, so I sort of just brushed it off like, yeah, I'll totally do that, bro. But there was no escaping, even back then, how much exposure it had gotten just through the anime alone. In 2014, I just thought of anime as something that was just sort of weird and something that I just didn't like. But also, I really wasn't exposed to, like, good anime. I mean, aside from Pokemon and Death Note, even in high school, I hadn't seen, like, a lot of people that were into anime. And the ones that I did see, they were the ones that were really, really dedicated to anime, who watched Naruto and One Piece religiously. And no offense to any anime fans who like those particular shows, but those were not the kind of people that I wanted to hang around with. Yet ironically, here I am, many years later, having my own anime channel and talking about anime. I have become one of those people. So it wouldn't be until years later that I finally sat down and watched Attack on Titan after, finishing Berserk for the first time, to try and watch that was something that was brand new to me. And fun fact, this video is what made me want to watch the series. I shit you not, and I was utterly blown away. There are various reasons why Attack on Titan has become the most watched anime of all time, and one of them, among them, is the art style. I mean, it just adds so much energy to the story, especially within the first 3 seasons, as we see the Survey Corps zipping around at lightning speeds, cutting down Titans left and right. They're taking names and kicking ass. But however, that energy that is channeled and that we see can also come back to bite the viewers in the ass, as when one moment you're seeing the Survey Corps being all dominant, the next moment is followed by one character that you might have liked getting devoured by a Titan. It's that energy and the pace that keeps people captivated into watching more. And yes, there are some parts where it can be a little bit slow and a little trudged out, but those moments rarely occur in battle against the Titans, and if they do, it's mainly to strategize what their next move is, as the Survey Corps have found themselves in a particular pickle. And they also go even further in depth, and they make strategizing something that seems a little boring. They take that and they make it interesting and exciting, as you never know what's really going to happen next, especially for those people who are only watching the anime. Another thing that adds to the experience is the fact that the music is just really so incredible. I mean, it has so many fucking bangers, and it can take you and it can make you, in one instant, get you hyped for a battle. And in the next moment, it can make you feel sad for the death of a character. I mean, it's a beautiful mixture of hype, sadness, and determination that helps elevate the experience, especially with the first OP being one of the most fist-pumpingly awesome OPs of all time. Berserk, that has forces. Evangelion has a Cruel Angel's Thesis, but Attack on Titan has that beautiful first OP, and that is the best OP of all time. I mean, go back, listen to it, and tell me it doesn't make you want to go out there and fight some fucking Titans. The production for this show, for this anime, has been nothing short of the topmost professionals working in the scene today, working on this one amazing project. However, you can have phenomenal art styles and awesome OPs, but that won't really make a show popular all of the time. I mean, look at Berserk 2016. The art style isn't the worst, although it is pretty bad. And it does have an amazing OP for the first and second seasons, and a story that is truly phenomenal, as it is my favorite manga of all time. But when it comes to execution, that's where Berserk 2016 became so flawed. So not only is Attack on Titan's execution masterful, but its story is also very simple to follow. We understand that this world is indeed cruel within the first episode, as Eren Yeager sees his mother eaten in front of his very eyes. So naturally, Eren wants to get revenge and kill every single Titan that he can, as they are the biggest threat to humanity inside the walls. Like I said, the story is simple in the first season. However, as the show goes on, it turns out that there are more and more pieces to this puzzle. As we get to the reveal of probably one of the biggest moments in Attack on Titan, the show and its history, as we see Bertolt and Reina are the Colossal and Armored Titan. It was this moment that we got this huge dramatic shift in the story, as the Titans are essentially pushed to the background as we focus on why Bertolt and Reina did what they did, and whether or not the world that these characters live in is truly alone, or is there something else out there. Now, with the fourth season currently airing, we know that the world beyond the walls is really bigger than anything that the people on Paradise Island ever thought it was, and Eren fundamentally has changed, and not for the better. I mean, he was never really the funniest or the most chill character in the show. As in the first 3 seasons, a majority of the things that we see him do is get angry and yell. I mean, yeah, he did have his moments where he wasn't angry, but those moments, they were few and far between. And even though he was angry, even though he was yelling, those were still human emotions, and you understood why he felt the way that he did. But now when it comes to season 4, he almost feels like a robot, as he shows little to no emotion whatsoever when he's attacking the people of Marley at the festival. I mean, once he resumes his human form, it's like he's dead inside. Look at those eyes. Like, he is just so focused on revenge, and it is consuming him. And although at first, before season 4 aired, I really wanted to see Marley get fucked up at the beginning of this season, once they did get wrecked by Eren, I regret wishing for that to happen. Eren had killed so many people, and so many of them were women, children, and civilians. Some who were just trying to, live their own lives peacefully and had nothing to do with Eren. And I think it's a little ironic considering that Eren wanted to save humanity, yet here he is actively destroying it. And before the attack on Marley, we also got to see Reiner, living his life when he came back from Paradise. And although he and the people of Marley are essentially the enemies, we do get to see things from his point of view, with his story, humanizing him as he essentially, was just a kid who wanted to bring his family honor and would do anything to achieve it. He had no idea as a child what his actions would lead to, and that unfortunately leads us to where we are right now in the story. The story has really progressed to a point where it seems as though the whole entire world is watching, with each season after the first topping the previous one. It's honestly surprising that the hype stuck around after the first season, considering it took over 4 years to make season 2. And usually in any other form of medium, whether it be anime, movies, or pro wrestling, when something is hot and something is popular, you run with it and you try to get it out to the masses as soon as you can. But sometimes when you do that, the end result can be a little sloppy. But they decided to take their time with it. It's the old adage of quality over quantity, and in my opinion, it helped the series, as people who are desperately waiting for the next season to come out could now focus on the manga, while the ones that didn't could just stay focused on being hyped for the next season to eventually drop. And it's all of these reasons, all of these factors, the amazing production, the glorious music, the art style, the execution, and amazing story. When you add all of these together, it's very much simple that it makes something that is unique. And with everything combined, it is how Attack on Titan became one of the most, if not the most, watched anime of all time.